Open your ears and turn off your mind of what you thought you knew, because it is time for Real Talk, Real Music on the LDM radio station.
Hola mi gente, this is your girl Evie. Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, Real Music here on the LDMradio.com. How are you? I hope you're doing well. And you ready for this? Are you guys ready for my special guest joining me today? Recording artist, songwriter, incredible human being, the remarkable and talented Sammy Song! Here's the host!
Girl, how are you, Evie?
How are you, Sammy? How are you?
Good, I'm good.
Aww. ¿Cómo tú estás? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good today, yeah. Today's a happy sunny day. I got my friends and family by my side and the sun's shining over my head, so I'm good.
That's a blessing, and that's all we could look forward and strive to live like that, at peace, Listen, at the end of the day, we get to sleep at night.
Yeah.
We get to sleep at night peacefully. So we just got to keep staying positive. So thank you so much for joining me today. You have been in the music industry for a while now, and you have written songs. You have been... I think we lost Sammy. Wait. Okay, so Sammy's back. Things happen. Listen. At least it's not an apagón. We didn't lose power.
Yeah.
That is so good. So I'm glad that you're back. But like I was saying, you have written so many songs for other artists, for yourself, and you have collaborating. You have I've been part of many great songs out there with many amazing artists. But how has freestyle evolved over the years, in your opinion?
I guess the sound has definitely evolved. It's kind of, it's a thin line when you say evolved, because back in the day, there were lots of collaborations. Then there was a point where a lot of freestyle artists weren't doing any collaborations. Now you see more of it, which is really good. It's very helpful for both artists and genre. And, I think the evolution of freestyle should be balanced off with the sound, trying to mold its way into what's new, where, you have the Christina Aguilera's and, you have all the Ariana Grandes, and you have to try to evolve into that style or form of sound in order to, to progress. You can't, you have to, move forward. So I think that's very important. And I see that it has in somewhat a way. So I'm very happy, that a lot of people have changed their styles and adapted to some of the newer stuff. But then, of course, you have some producers that choose to stay in their comfort zone with the old school sound and whatnot,
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's to each his own, Remember, the word freestyle, the genre freestyle, it's of a choice. It's a particular sound. It's, so you can't be R&B and say, yeah, that's freestyle, because it's not. Freestyle has a very unique sound in itself. So keeping
it is that I have to agree with you.
Right. It's very important to keep true to the sound. So, but the evolution, of course, incorporating synths, different synths, and, trying to be a little more clever with how you produce and how you write. I think it's very important.
Sometimes it feels like freestyle is all about love, and which is wonderful. I mean, love. I mean, I'm a person that I'm in love with being in love. Because we love life, we love our family, we love our partners, we love our friends. But, it's always good to have that song that comes out of nowhere. And it just talks about life, about, listen, we go through things. How can you cope with it?
Right.
So sometimes I feel kind of like people think freestyle is always lovey-dovey and it's all about love. No, there's songs out there that mean they have other meanings.
Right. Right.
You know.
If you're a writer, I believe you should adapt and try to be a little metaphoric when you're trying to write things. You don't always have to say the word love in order to mean it. You know,
Exactly.
you don't know, and your story could be based, it could be written the same way. It's just the way it's written. So,
Mhm.
yeah, it's all in the writing. It's all in the craft. So, yeah, of course.
Do you have like what is your process when you decide to? Now that you mentioned about writing, do you have a process or a specific way of like, okay, I'm just gonna sit down and I'm gonna write a song, or do you have to be inspired, or you just out of the blue? You could be taking a shower and you're like, coño, espérate, wait, let me write about this damn soap. This soap feels good. You know what I mean? Like that creative process, like it just.
I get you. It kind of varies. I've never really had one thing that led me to writing certain things. Like I'll give you, for instance, years ago when I wrote a lot of the older stuff. I sat at a table. I was given the music, and basically, I try to connect emotionally to the sound of the song,
Right.
and then I just blurted out things that were happening to me or happening to a friend or something that was kind of relatable in my life, and that's how I gained the inspiration back then. Then we flash forward to like 2008 when I started working with Carlos Barrios, and he handed me a track titled "Without You." It wasn't titled "Without You" because it didn't have lyrics or anything to it.
Right.
So it was just the skeleton of the song, but I was like, wow, I loved it. And he was like, Sam, this is possibly going to be for Lisette Melendez. So I want you to try to think out the box. And
Mm-hmm.
I was relatable, but I try to be very conscious I literally, when I sat and I sang the song, um, I was worried more about my pronunciation than anything. So I don't know, there's little things in that song that if you really take a serious listen to, you'll be like, oh, now you're trying to say I did, things like that. And I'm really just pronounce the words clearly, because you know how, like, when you hear a song and you be like, yeah, yo, oh, they're saying, like, yeah, I'll give you like Michael Jackson, mama say mama sa Marco sa, right? No,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say time, I'm not gonna stop.
Look at that.
That's what he's saying. I'm gonna say it one more time, I'm not gonna stop. And everybody thought he was saying mama say mama sa mama sa.
I think people don't take the time to listen to the lyrics and understand them. I don't, this
I
is
was
the reason why you got to keep listening to it.
I became super conscious about trying to, pronounce the words properly, clear, even though it's like when you're singing and you're trying to pronounce it, but you're trying to throw a little inflection on it, and you kind of throw your feng shui off. But I found the balance and I was able to do it, thankfully. But yeah, those, to me, things are very important, and very inspiring when it comes to writing. I have different ways to like, I got a whole, like, in my phone, I have literally page after page
Wow, I can imagine.
of lyrics, and I'm like, oh my god, this is great. It just popped in my head. Oh my god, by faith I live, for which I give, my heart belongs to you. For this I'm sure, a love so pure, a trust between us two. And I'm like, damn, that's a perfect song.
Man, like, wow. No, because it's so important, when you write a song, just to connect and see where your mentality and emotion, what level are you in? Because, the other day I was looking at a little TikTok, a little video that they were talking about. Remember that 80s song, she's just 16 years old.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Leave her. So then it's like, at that time, you didn't realize what he was singing about. But now, as a songwriter, do you feel the pressure of, like, I have to be very clear with certain things because now it's like, people get offensive, you know?
Girl, you gotta watch what you're saying. Things could be
Yes.
misinterpreted, so you have to be very careful. You gotta, that's what I'm saying. Using the metaphors are cool, but you gotta be careful that that metaphor doesn't lead to opening you up.
Exactly. And it's so, people they're so sensitive nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, as I'm getting older, and I remember, when I was little, I didn't care. I'd be like, hey, whatever. But now it's so sensitive. And I could just imagine the pressure of you guys, singing a certain way, performing a certain way, dealing with your fans a certain way. And it's like, because everything has evolved, it has changed.
Yeah. Listen, back in very different. It was in and out.
Yeah.
The majority was VIP, stay there. It's time to perform. You sing, you're out. There was no access to fans. Fans had no access to the artists.
Right.
Access to a lot of people, unless if you knew somebody who knew somebody. Now it's really different, and I've taken advantage of these opportunities. I'm like, yo, I want to connect with the fans. I do, so I'll sit with them. I'll hang with them.
I know.
Yeah, listen, I did a show once up in Connecticut, and I literally, there was a booth, and I asked the people that were at the booth. I said, do you guys mind if I sit here for a minute? I says, it's really crowded. They're like, no, you could sit down. And all of a sudden, like 20 minutes later, I jumped on stage.
Wow.
And that was you. I can't believe it. And you over here asking us. I'm like, but I'm a regular dude, man.
Wow.
I'm a regular.
Yes.
And then, we kind of, it was really cool. It was a very cute moment. You know what I'm saying? And things like that. I love that. I love having those little stories and those interactions with a lot of people that they normally wouldn't get. It's very hard. A lot of the older are set in their ways, and they're cautious, very cautious, because you just don't know.
You don't know. And this is another question. How you feel about the internet, the way it has impacted music? Because you just mentioned about they're very cautious, but it's just the internet has impacted freestyle so much, and music in general. But freestyle right now is like all the fans, people that have become, like, they just know you, like they treat you like your family, But you gotta be very cautious.
Interaction, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. If somebody says, "Hi, Sammy, I love your music," I'm not gonna ignore them. I'm gonna say, "Thank you very much." And then sometimes it leads into more conversations. They'll tell me a story. So the access is there now. And then the information. See, where a lot of people didn't know so-and-so sang that song, or so-and-so doesn't sing that song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You'll find that there's plenty of imposters, and then you'll find that there's plenty of people that you had no idea sang certain, songs or wrote certain songs, because now the internet has opened the eyes to all the fans. It's very accessible. It's right there at your fingertips.
I know, yeah. And do you feel pressure? Because sometimes I have witnessed that if a fan, he was rude to me. He didn't have not even 1 minute to say hi to me. And they'll go in the internet and do something, be like, oh, he's so rude. It for me, I would feel kind of pressure, like, oh my God, I don't even know if do you feel like a robot sometimes? Like a robot be like, okay, hi, how are you? How you doing? Because you don't want to overstep any boundaries, or do you don't want to come across rude, or, like, listen, I have to go. I can't talk to you too much, but I gotta go,
It's a very, very tough balance, but I really try to make it a thing where I give everybody 5 minutes. I absolutely, I think it's so important to connect to the fans and give them that 5 minutes, when, it like you're paying a ticket to come and see me.
Right.
Your hard-earned money. And of course, you want to hear the songs, but to have a story behind it, it becomes even more powerful and more meaningful. So if I
Okay.
sit with you and I don't know you and I'm like, oh my God, I'm telling you, thank you for coming out to see me. I really appreciate you taking out your time. That's going to impact somebody to the point they're going to be like, yo, he didn't have to do that. He stood here, we hung out, we laughed, we were talking for about 10, 15 minutes, and then like, hey guys, could you excuse me a second? I just want to say hi to a group of people that just walked in. But you see, that's how I do it. Not
Mm-hmm.
everyone does it like that, so I could understand again because people have to be cautious with who they give their 5 minutes to.
It's true. I agree
It's
with you.
very difficult.
Yeah.
It's fun, not easy. You got to know how to balance it. So, you know,
You do, and you know, as far as you know, I've seen you perform, and I've say hello, and you always have the time, like, hey, how are you? Thank you for coming, you know, and that as a fan, it's very appreciated. I appreciate any little second that you could give me. I would appreciate that forever. So, you know, I could understand that as a fan, you know, but at the same time, you got to be very cautious. People are
right.
kind of like, you know, I don't know about some people.
Like, I'll give you scenarios. Some girls, you'd be like, hey, hi, how are you? All of a sudden, they go, yo, that nigga was on my shit. Yo,
Oh yes, I know.
watch. And let me tell you something.
Uh huh.
Don't confuse the niceness, guys, with with the being cordial and respectable,
It's
because
true. It's true. Oh my goodness. No, I agree with you. That's why I.
even on a regular, like yourself, right? If you try to be nice to somebody, that probably happens to you several times, right?
It does. It does because I'm always nice. Like for me, like I'm always nice. I'm always bubbly, and that's just the way I am. Anybody who knows me, this is me.
Right.
But sometimes people just they just want to take, and I'm like, listen, let me just go over there. Let me just have a drink. Let me just relax. I'll come back to you. You know what I mean? But it's just some people, they're just unbelievable, and they assume things,
Right.
you know, and that is like I have to give it to you guys, you know, as artists, as you know, performers, because it's like it's hard.
Oh yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
hard. I mean, not only are you dealing, you know, dealing with different characters as with the fan base, but in this business, dealing with all sort of characters, positive, negative, is
Yeah.
just is you know unbelievable. You know, have you been criticized? I mean, both constructive and negative,
Oh
in your career so far for
yeah.
anything? You know, the way
Absolutely.
you wear your hair. It could be the silliest stupidez. You
I
know.
remember
Oh,
once
Dios mío.
I did Frankie Cutlass's show, and I posted it up on my TikTok, and I was wearing a white outfit, and someone commented, he says, "Damn, homeboy, that shirt looks awfully tight." So I
Ay,
went,
bendito.
because I'm real fat. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
Listen,
I turned I turned the negative to a positive, and
exactly.
bro, he laughed and he was like, "Oh my god, dude, yo, the way you responded was completely opposite of what I thought it would be." He goes, "You're a great guy, man. Thank you." And I made a fan out of somebody who potentially could have been an adversary. So
Sammy, you gotta kill them with kindness. You gotta kill them with kindness because it's just they come out of nowhere with these things. It's
not
like
chocolate. Not everyone likes chocolate. Not everybody likes vanilla. I don't know what flavor of the week I am to some of these people, but you know, I try. I could only try. I could only, let show people that, I'm genuine. I'm a real nice guy. And when I say it, I really mean it. I'm a real nice guy. You meet me,
yes, you are.
take
Hmm.
pictures with you. You know what? It's all good. It's all good. And there's even times that um I know certain people just like, hey man, yo, I get paid bi-weekly. I wish I could go to this show, man. I'm a little tight on funds. I'll say, yeah, don't worry. What's your name? All right, I got you. +1. You're on my guest list. Don't worry. Come down, bro. Have some fun. Don't worry about it. And
Hmm.
they're like, oh wow. Wow. Oh my God. But that goes a long way.
It does. It does. It does for a lot of us, who we love music. I think music it moves us. It helps us through our tough times in our lives, and we become so appreciative, you guys, because you connect with us. I don't know, the way you interpret those songs, and I don't know, it's just, it touches us. So for you to go out of your way to make me feel good, I mean, that's like,
I think
wow.
it's important.
You
I'm
know,
going to continue to,
it's a blessing.
continue to do that. As long as I can. I think it's important. I
And
want
I
to get.
think, Sammy, too, you have this essence, Sammy, that you're well liked, and it's something about you. I mean, the way you sing, the way you perform, the way you carry yourself, and the love that you give your fans. I mean, people could feel that. I have to tell you that, just because it transpires to us, and I'm putting myself there because I'm a fan. It transpires to us,
Wow.
and we get to know a little bit of that Sammy because you show that caring and that hard work. You hustle. Let me tell you, you hustle.
Yeah. Anyway, I definitely work into the bone with this genre. I try
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
trying to get my thing done. But
You have to, and it's as far as I've learned in this journey of mine of getting to know you guys. It's hard. It's hard. People are like it was mentioned before. Some people are set on their ways, and it's not a lot of new people that are busting their butt. They're working hard, trying to. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna say it, and it's gonna come out of my mouth. Some of the new stuff is not that great,
I agree. I
but
agree.
not that great. And I
There's,
can understand where they're coming from and why they feel the way they do.
there's,
But there's a lot of good music out there, and there's a lot of good artists and good singers that have talent.
yep.
You know what
The,
I mean?
the big misconception is
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the newer artists coming up is they think that they do a song and it's up on iTunes and they got 20 people on their page cheering them on that they have a hit or they should be doing huge concerts. And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work like that.
Exactly.
That absolutely is not how it works. And if I have to sit here and explain to any of these artists how it works, then you need to turn around,
Mm-hmm.
go home, and start thinking about something different to do. Because if you don't have a clue on how to make it happen, or trying to adjust to figuring things out properly, then you have no place in this game. This is
Exactly. And and I always put my 2 cents in it because I'm the fan. Pero I feel like, listen, I need to see you do your thing. I need to see you work. Cause I'm like, that's the type of like, man, he's doing his thing. He's just, like, or her, she's doing her thing. Like, let us see it. Let's the fans see you do, feel that energy. And it's a shame. It's a shame that,
but
some people.
there are people that deserve an opportunity that have put in the work that
Yep.
do bust their chops trying to make it happen. That they're just the tools are very limited for them to get to where they need to get to, and it's very difficult. And I applaud them and I try to help as much as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
For those that I deem are I hate saying that word worthy, but for those that really deserve those opportunities, because it is hard. It is hard. You don't know
Yeah,
what
imagine.
to talk to, or then you're gonna go in circles, man. So it's always good to lend a hand. You never know. You never know.
You never know. It's so true.
Now,
It's
no,
so true.
guys could be the hottest thing, and all of a sudden you need that hand.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. I have to agree with you 100%. And we are in a time in music right now that, we're dealing with a lot of mental health, a lot of personal struggles, a lot of things that are happening in our own private life. And, you know, now with the music industry is dealing with a lot of narcissistic behavior. And I've been one of the persons that I've noticed a lot of like weird things, and I'm a fan, and if a fan could see it, there's something going on, have you ever felt pushed out of your comfort zone, musically or otherwise, just because a narcissistic person is, they go for that thrill of the hunt, they exploit other people without guilt of shame, and the musicians, recording artists, songwriters, they feel that pressure, they feel like they in a balance beat. Like, either, am I losing my talent? And I'm balancing emotions. I mean, all this sort of things. Have you ever felt pushed out of your comfort zone? Personally, otherwise.
Honestly, if it gets to that point,
Mm-hmm.
I freeze up and I'm like, no, I'm not doing it.
Mm.
If I'm not feeling comfortable with something, I'm like, yeah, this ain't happening. I'm not gonna do this. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
Even a show, and
Mm-hmm.
if I'm presented with an opportunity, hey, I'd love for you to this, but I need you to that, and can you sing this, and can you sing that? And I'm like, hold on, wait a minute.
Exactly.
I'm not feeling comfortable with what I'm doing, then I'm not gonna do it. That's
Mm-hmm.
to me, that's the bottom line. I have integrity, I have principle, and I'm not gonna, compromise any of the above for a dollar. And that's, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna make, like, I'll give you, for instance, I'm not gonna make an enemy.
Mm-hmm.
When I know certain people don't get along, I try to avoid putting myself in a situation where a friend of mine might feel offended who's in the business. I try to respect everyone's feelings, and I get it. But that's not for everybody.
It's
Sometimes not reciprocated, unfortunately. So you go in with very low expectations, so that way you don't come out hurt. You go in with low expectations and no high expectations, then everything is good. If you're going in there expecting people to do things in return for you, or
mm-hmm.
or to be a certain way with you, nah, it's not going to happen. It's
Yeah.
definitely not going to happen. You gotta make, you do what you do because you feel it's right for you in your head.
Exactly.
Not, and if you're doing it because you want to be a friend to somebody, I applaud you. That's great. I'm that guy, but I
Mm-hmm.
never expect anything of anybody to do the same for me. If they do, then I'm like, oh wow, that's special. Thank you for being.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's so true. I agree with you. And I think that, with all this behavior, sometimes, you feel, especially when you're new and you want to make it so bad and you want to be accepted so bad that you, without thinking, just agree with things. And this has happened. I mean, it happened forever.
Yeah, it's
The music forever. And I mean,
I
it's
saw.
it's been said in many documentary of freestyle and music, R&B, rap. It doesn't matter, but
Gotta
it's crazy.
battle. That's it. You got to pick and choose what you think is going to work and what's not going to. You can't
Exactly.
jump and be like, yeah, 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 I'm gonna do it. Oh my God, yeah, I want to be a part of that. No, listen, man. Again, you got to pick and choose your fight.
Yep,
Um,
it's so true.
losing a lot more than you're gonna be gaining in that. So
Hmm.
I'm like, nah. Me, I'm straight up. I'm like, nah, it's not happening. Don't even ask.
I'm glad, and look, it has done. I mean, we still love you. You still, you haven't lost that essence that I mentioned before. That people love about you. But it's hard. It's hard. It's hard.
It's,
It's really hard. I could imagine.
it's like I always tell people, like friends of mine, when they go, "Oh, yo, I got this new record," I go, "Are you sure you want me to hear it?" I'm a very honest guy. I'm gonna be super true, man. If you're willing to accept what I say, and this is all coming from constructive criticism,
Hmm.
But don't ask me if if you're looking for a pat on the back. I'm not that guy. I'm definitely not the guy. I'll tell you straight up. Ay, papa. I don't know. You better go back to the studio and
try to tweak it a little bit because it's not. But you know what? I think that they should be appreciated of that.
Right, because how do you call yourself a friend if you're not going to tell your friend the truth? If you're not going to be honest, you got it. That's being truthful is a part of being a friend, man.
And that happens, and that goes with your personal life. I'm the type of person that I feel just like that with my friends. I want them to be, 100% with me. Don't sugarcoat me. Don't sugarcoat the situation. Not me, but hey, don't sugarcoat. Okay. that didn't mean I didn't mean it to say it like that, but you know what I mean. Like, don't sugarcoat the situation. Just tell me straight up. Tell me what is going on. Because I appreciate that. I would appreciate that, and I think people should be appreciated because that's what's a true friend. That's a true friend.
Being honest, that's being true to being.
You have to be honest, and especially somebody that has the experience that's been around. Come on, they know what they're talking about. But it's just crazy. It's crazy. Do you ever feel like you were pressured to change your music style? Meaning, like, because that the reason why I say this is because in the past and even recently, there's been a lot of people that decided to try something new, like salsa and stuff like that. Have you ever been asked to change something, or Oh, we lost Sammy again. Wait, we lost Sammy again. Oh no. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I get him again. Okay, so Sammy's back. Listen, it happens. Listen, that's the organic, sincere and honesty about hey, technology. AI wants to take over. So I don't know. That's another show. Pero no, what I wanted to know. I know that you feel the pressure of changing and evolving. But and the reason why I mentioned this is because in freestyle, people have transitioned to salsa. You've seen the different genres, or even use a little hip hop or a little bit of pop, a little house in their sound. Do you ever feel that the pressure, or anybody ever ask you to be like, Sammy, sing some salsa, or something, a ballad?
That's been the one thing a lot of people have asked me to do, is to do more Spanish songs or salsa. And listen, it all right, it is not an easy thing. Okay, if you look back at interviews with Mark Anthony, he'll even say it's very challenging because, of course, the pronunciation. You don't want to sound like Ete from the block in El Bronx. You know what I'm saying?
Vamos para Rufo.
Yeah, exactly. You want your people to accept and embrace your Spanish singing style. And I get certain artists that have transitioned from that, like Luis Damon, who sang freestyle and now is full-pledged all on salsa.
Yeah,
is phenomenal. He is such a phenomenal talent. And it's like that, that transition. Now, I would like to, but it has to be done properly. It has to be done right. I would need, a team that I could, work with, and, I could lean on in reference to getting it done right. I do have a good friend, of course, who inspires me all the time. His name is Angel Ramirez, and he was a member of this pop group called the Barrio Boys.
Yes! Oh my goodness! Yes.
Sang with Selena, and they have multi-platinum hits, and he wrote Amaré for Mark Anthony, and so he's a good friend of mine for years. he's one of those guys that have kept me in that point where I'm like, man, maybe I should. I'm thinking, thinking about it, but like I said, it has to be done properly.
It has to be done, yeah. It has to be on the right time and the right song and just the whole arrangement.
Yep, I'm all
It has to be right.
about that salsa con swing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it's gonna be salsa, it's gotta have a lot of swing to it. It's and I just haven't found the right balance between.
Mm-hmm.
So but I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
No, listen, and it's like it's gonna come on due time, on the right time is gonna come.
Right.
Because I noticed that a lot of freestyle artists have tried, and it is a blessing, but it for me it hasn't catch me yet, and recently Lisa just did a little salsa from her song. She
Okay.
changed it. So it sounds good, but I could understand the reason why it has to be the right time and just the way lyrically it has to be put together, a certain way.
My God, one guy that did it was George Lamont when he did Te Vas. That song has all the greatest elements in it, from production to writing. And it's
Exactly.
a remake.
Yes.
It's a remake, but the man owned that song. The way he sang it, he owns that damn record.
Yeah.
And he did
It has to be right. It has to be right. And so I always wonder if you ever this is why I asked the question, because now it's like I said, I saw Lisa, then even Judy Torres, when I went to see her last year, she sang in a salsa, and she even said it on stage. She's like, listen, this is me trying to dip my toes in it, but but it's hard. It's really hard.
I've done freestyle in Spanish, but I want to continue to do a little more.
Mhm.
I'm just
Yeah.
gradually, I might get there, but for now, that's what I can give for now is just a little bit of freestyle in Spanish. So but I'll get there at some point. I will.
You will. You will. I think that is when the time is right, it's right. And I think the way that the music is evolving, the world is changing. It's not the same anymore. I think that once you find your time, that's when it's like, what? Let me just déjame entrar aquí, blah 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 blah, y hacer lo que tengo que hacer. You know what I mean? But listen, so let's talk about what's next. What's happening? What's happening right now?
I'm working on new music with my partner Carlos Berrios, who I love.
Yay!
Dog, my buddy. Definitely working on some new stuff, and I have a mess load of shows that I've been working on and that I'm on. So I'm very excited. I'm super blessed to have these opportunities that continue to fall on my lap. I mean, believe me, it's not easy. It's a lot of work. But again, I have a great team I work with, and they're very they're very helpful, and we're just getting the job done. We're trying.
I'm glad because that's another important thing, is to surround yourself with positive people. You have to surround yourself with good people, hardworking people that mean business, and they're gonna keep it 100 with you.
Oh yeah, listen, my right hand. His name is Edgar, and he is a friend. He wears several hats.
Mm-hmm.
He's just that guy. I wouldn't know what I would be doing without him. He's
Oh, I'm so happy.
so I adore the guy, and big up to you, Ed. Thank you, bro, for being
That's
such
right. Yeah,
many
I'm
moves.
glad.
Look, I got another. I got a good team. Not for nothing. Between Carlos Barrios, Benny Moose, Edgar Aquino, I have a definite, solid team. I work with Sal Abatello, who's a good and dear friend to me, and I work with a lot of people, but the most standout people are pretty much those guys right there. And I'm
That's
grateful.
amazing, amazing, and I'm so glad and grateful that things are moving, and I hope that it not only that it continues, but with other artists too.
Yeah.
You guys gotta work together. Let's just, let's support each other. For everyone, all the listeners, just follow him. He has social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Just keep up to date with all the events that are coming. Support New York, Florida, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, anywhere where he lands. I don't, he'll land somewhere. Okay.
5 minutes. I promise you guys. I'll give you the 5 minutes that
Yes.
that you deserve. You deserve more than 5, but I promise I'll give you that.
Definitely.
For sure. And I hope to see you at one of my shows. Let's interact. Let's talk.
And your music is available on all digital streaming platforms. So I don't want to hear it that you don't know, you can't find anything. You better stop. He's on social media, like I mentioned. Just support. Thank you so much, Sammy. I appreciate you so much.
As do I.
The little grain of sugar that I could put in. You got me. I'm very grateful. Very, very grateful.
I to you, I am.
You gave me those 5 minutes, and you inspire me. So you gave me those 5 minutes, and you inspire me to what? Let me continue doing what I'm doing, and
Very good.
And that's just like coming from the bottom of my heart. So thank you. Just keep on going. Many blessings and love for you, to your family. Ya tú sabes, I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in the front, singing,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my Whitney and my Mariah.
Oh.
Pero, con amor siempre, blessings siempre, siempre. Mwah. Thank you so much, Sammy. Thank you, everybody. Just stay tuned. We're gonna listen to a couple of Sammy's songs and just vote so it could get on the top 10 and top 20 of the week. Listen, support. Many blessings, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Now let's listen to some great music, and remember to come back next week for some more Real Talk Real Music on the #1 radio station in New York, the LDM radio station.